All right, by now we've all seen Jeff Nipard being assaulted in the gym by Big Van Wyck. Now, there's a few things I wanted to touch on, so we're going to switch over here to a screenshot. So this is where Jeff goes into exactly what happened. The only thing that we don't really actually have is time code. So did it take a few seconds, or was this over the span of minutes? What I want to highlight is that the altercation actually started whenever Mike brushed up, so actually made physical contact and engaged verbally. We would call this in martial arts or in the study of violence the beginning of the pre-interview. It's also a concept called habituation. Habituation is whenever you're trying to get the victim of your violence to not respond in a way that would make him and put him in a better defensive position. So he goes on to verbally interact with and then restart, so get the adrenaline up, bring it back down, and then re-engage, and that's when the actual physical violence started with that really well-timed shot to the throat. Let's look at that. See, the last time Van Wyck walks up and actually engages, and there's no telegraph, he goes straight from the hip and hits with that, in which we would call it a Boshikin thrust, just an open palm with the thumb extended, strike straight to the throat, from the hip to the throat. So that's really well delivered. If I was doing a technical analysis, I'd say that's what the way a person of that size should plan to throw that shot. But you can see that Jeff Nipard had his hands down. It looks like he had his hands behind his back, but he had absolutely no defense. So going back to his Instagram post, we can see that he laid out exactly how it happened. So the violence was started by that pre-interview and the habituation to the violence, then the actual engagement of the violence. And I think most tellingly for Van Wyck's mindset is at the end, he shoved another individual who had not engaged physically at all or verbally, and then he walked away. And apparently, I believe it was in Antoine V's Instagram post, he had gone back to training his client, then left the gym or was removed from the gym. So I think this works as a really good reminder to always have your guard up, even if you're not always stressed out, always have your head on a swivel and be aware of pre-attack indicators, especially those things that indicate you have already failed the interview.